For 8 years of my life, I uploaded 2 scripted comedy videos a week. A week, every Monday and Thursday. Scripted comedy. Needless to say, I had to have a lot of ideas for these videos. One of the ways I come up with my ideas is I'm a big believer that inspiration is everywhere, around us all the time. Me sitting down at my desk and thinking, what can I make a video about? Now let me start thinking about it, is not what I do. I am always thinking about it. When I'm talking to my friends, when I'm at the mall, when I'm at a restaurant, when I'm at a movie theater, I'm always just paying attention to how people are interacting, what people are struggling with that I might also be struggling with. Hey, I had this conversation with my parents. I wonder if other people are having this conversation with their parents. I think everything around us is inspiration. The universe is art, y'all. It's right there for us to look at and to manipulate and turn into our stories. And so always have your inspiration hat on. And I have a notes app on my phone. It's just ideas, and it's a safe space for just me, where spelling doesn't matter, thank God, grammar doesn't matter. And anytime I'm in a situation and I think of something or I see, oh, that's interesting, no matter how small the idea, I write it in my notes app. Could be as simple as arguing with my mom over how to wear a face mask. Put that kernel of an idea in. Or it can be something bigger, like make a movie about a haunted bar. I don't know, whatever the idea is, put it in your notes app or whatever notebook or whatever you have, and let it be a safe space to accumulate, keep adding to it. Now, when it comes time to create content, I open that notes app and I think, can I build on this? Does this one still excite me? This one is a little more of a lift than I can do right now. You start going through it. It's like you're doing the work for yourself before you have to actually do the work, and it's wonderful. Now, when you make as many videos as I've made, you'll come to a point where you may have exhausted the inspiration around you. You can no longer extract things from your parents or your friends because you've been there and you've done that. That's why I'm a big believer of scheduling inspiration. And I know that sounds a little strange because generally speaking, inspiration is not something you schedule. You schedule appointments, but when you're creative, it's part of your job to be inspired. So just like you would schedule a meeting, I believe you should schedule inspiration. Now, what does that look like? Do movies inspire you? Do certain artists inspire you? If so, schedule time to interact with those things. I will build into my schedule times to watch new movies, especially if it's a genre that I'm really excited by or an actor that I'm really trying to learn from. I'll be like, all right, they got a new movie coming out Friday night, 8 to 10. That is what I am doing. Yes, it's leisure, but it's also scheduling inspiration. Is there an artist whose album always makes your brain go into overdrive with ideas? Schedule time to listen to that album. I do this with musicals as well. I love musicals. Every time I go to a musical, Broadway show, I'm sitting there and I think, that would be a great sketch. Ooh, that would be really cool in a YouTube video. What if I did that? Scheduling inspiration. I cannot express this enough. It is a very important thing to do. It is not a waste of time. When it comes to storytelling, not every story needs to be about everyone, but there should be stories for everyone. And that's why you should make stories about specific things that you're going through. When you have an idea and you're telling it through your lens, you might often feel pressure to water things down. Like, okay, this happened in my life. It was very specific to my culture, my religion, my language, my mom, my family. But now how can I make this more universal? I encourage you to actually lean into the specifics of what it is you're telling, because you'd be surprised how much relatability is in the specifics. Even if it's not relatable, it's a point of view that's uniquely yours and that should be expressed. So really dive in to all the things that make your story yours. And don't feel the need to make it so it's more palatable for everyone else. There's a time to do that, Yes, there are certain concepts where we should explain this a little more for people that aren't familiar with the culture and language, sure. But sometimes no. Make it completely you. Let me just put a little asterisk into that comment I just made. I have decided that when I tell stories, they will be about me, my experience, my point of view. I think it's a slippery slope, especially on social media, when you start telling stories that involve other people. I talk a lot about my family and friends. I never throw my family and friends under the bus. I never tell real stories about someone else's heartache, because that's not my position. It's not my story to tell. That is a rule I've made for myself. That's what my moral compass says. That's your choice to make. But I will say the respectable thing to do is to ensure that you are not endangering someone else or putting someone else in the spotlight if they're not deciding to do that. Remember, this is your story. It's your point of view. It's something you can offer. And so it's not fair to put someone else in that position. All right, now that I've talked all the things, let me walk the things and show you this in action. I'm going to show you my Notes app. Now, remember I said this is a safe space. Spelling and grammar and formatting do not matter, right? Right? So I have this note, as you can see, video ideas is a simple heading, and it is a very long list of kernels of ideas, more fleshed out ideas. I'll start from the top here, okay? Now this is years in the making, so some of these ideas are probably like very old. Dance, hip hop into Bollywood dance, fusion with costume changes. As you can see, that's a very vague idea that kind of means nothing, but it went on the list. Simpsons rap in response to hate comments. And then literally I just put this one line here, stop rapping, you sound like a cartoon. I must have gotten a hate comment that said, you sound like a cartoon. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be so cool for me to do an entire Simpsons themed rap where I turn that into a compliment? And that kernel of an idea went onto the notes. When your parents become grandparents, responsibilities of a best friend. I actually shot this video.
Will you take a picture of me?
Yeah, babe. A portrait, full body. You know what?
I'll take both.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
This one's really fleshed out. I shot this video with Reese Witherspoon for a collaboration. It all started with the kernel of an idea that was in this Notes app. If my family was Beyonce and the line I put under it to jog my memory was Chipotle partition. I don't know what that means, but my brain tells me that I might have thought I could remix the song Partition in a Chipotle. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so it says, friends fighting at game night. And I know why I wrote this. I had a game night. Friendships were lost. I remember sitting in that game night feeling so awkward because two of my friends were fighting. What were we playing? Either Catan or Monopoly? I have no idea, but I remember feeling so tense. And I think in that moment of tenseness, I took out my phone and I put, friends fighting at game night. This is definitely a script. And that is a kernel I have turned into a video, which I will walk you through later on.
Party time. Okay, we're gonna play charades. Okay, it's an acting game. Oh my god, Bollywood game? Okay, I want to be Priyanka Chopra. You say game, not time machine. What do you say?
So what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to the story you want to tell. What's going on in your life? What's your point of view? What excites you? Because in our next lesson, we're going to plan out your video. So share it in the project gallery.